What's up, everybody? I'm Luke Cogliano, and this is the Ellen Show. So, I'm here this week with a review of Horrible Bosses and Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2. I know it's been a while trying to get this episode out, but now I've finally had the time to work on it, so here it is. So, Horrible Bosses, this movie was refreshingly funny. I was completely taken aback by the whole film. It was really funny, much more than I had expected it to be. When I saw the trailer for the first time, I was kind of unsure of whether it was going to be really fun or not. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised, and I think that this is my favorite comedy of the year so far. It was absolutely hilarious, and it just had an amazing cast. All of them do a really great job, except I really didn't think that Jason Bateman or Jamie Foxx really pulled their own in this movie, and they just seemed to kind of drift through it and almost seemed bored throughout the whole thing. But besides that, I loved everybody in this cast, and I had a great time watching all of them interact and go on this crazy, crazy adventure. What makes these characters so good is that they're very believable, and they really touch upon a lot of things that can connect with different audiences. Because the story of this movie is so unusual and so unique, it really becomes more interesting to follow as you go through, and you're always trying to figure out how things are going to play out for these characters. So, in this movie, you have the bosses, Jennifer Aniston, Kevin Spacey, and Colin Farrell, and all three of them are just absolutely incredible. This is one of Aniston's best movies in years, and that is saying something. And she really stands out in this movie. She's the funniest character in the whole film, and every time she's in a scene, it's hilarious. Spacey is also very good in this movie. He's very dark and he's very powerful in this role, and he just nails it. And I don't think they could have picked a better person because he's just such a recognizable person, and it really makes this character very convincing. And while Colin Farrell is only in the movie for around 15 minutes or so, he's absolutely fantastic. And the story behind his character is very great. The whole scene where they investigate his house is phenomenal. I just loved the whole scene. And as far as the workers, it's great to see Jason Sudeikis in more stuff. And Charlie Day is an absolute knockout in this movie. He just brings this crazy character to a completely different level. So while the story is really crazy and it's pretty bizarre, you have an amazing cast to go along with the whole thing, and lots of great laughs. So it's totally worth the time. I definitely recommend you go see this in theaters. It's something you have to see. It's so funny. It's just really amazing. So for Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, I have to say, with all honesty, this is a fantastic movie. Go see it. Go right now. If you're a fan, you will love this movie. If you've read the books, you will be amazed. They bring this to the most satisfying conclusion for fans. They present great visuals throughout the entire film. There's lots of great special effects and amazing camera work. It's just a beautiful movie. It's too bad that it feels a little bit rushed, but it does show you so much, and if you know what's going on while you're watching it, and you understand what's happening, you will be pleasantly surprised when you watch this. It's such a great movie. I totally recommend you go see it. But I would say don't see it in 3D. 3D is absolutely terrible. There's no point in seeing it in 3D. I would also recommend that you go and watch part 1 before you watch this one, because it just makes more sense watching them both right with each other, because part 2 really picks up right after part 1, and if you don't really understand what happened before, or you don't really remember, it's good to have that in your mind and just take that with you. So definitely make sure to watch both, and that will definitely give you the greatest experience when you watch these movies. And lastly, I've read all the books, and I've seen all the movies, and I still am not a fan of the epilogue of this film. I just think that it's cheesy. It kind of leads into maybe the possibilities of a spin-off series. I just do not like it at all. I think they maybe should have worked a little more on concluding the stories of some of the other characters instead of jumping into the epilogue of 19 years later, because it just didn't work out for me, and I just thought it would have been better if they had left that out entirely. But saying that, I have to say it was a phenomenal film. Definitely go see it. I do change things from the book that I miss, But I can understand this because when working on such a gigantic project like Harry Potter, there's absolutely no space to just leave every single detail. I'm glad with what they've put out, and I'm so glad I've been able to follow this since I was a kid because it's just an amazing series, and it's sad to see this go. So I definitely recommend you check this out. It's a great movie, and you will not be disappointed. So that's it for this episode. I'll try to have something out next week, but if not, I will get it out as soon as I can. I know I'm going to go see Captain America and Friends with Benefits, but maybe I'll include something else in the next episode. I'm not quite sure yet. As always, make sure to subscribe up top, leave a comment down below, and leave a video response. And as always, make sure to like this video and give it a thumbs up. So I'll see you guys next time, and for today's question of the day, I want to know what movie you're looking forward to most this summer.
Can I resist?